rate isn't that good. But who knows? I mean, he obviously pulled some pretty crazy upsets last season. And you know what? Yeah, I used to not like Larva that much because he seemed kind of like Terrafo U, where he was decently good, but not amazingly good, and he mainly got viewers by just doing crazy stupid shit. So like I'm not a huge fan of those kinds of broadcasters, but in the group stage, in his best of 3 series against Movie, he actually took Movie out 2-1, but more importantly, in the first game, he did the sickest mind game I have ever seen in my life. I wanted to do an analysis on it on Gambit's Cup, I forgot. But basically, they were horizontal spawns on, I think, Winning Cloud. It was a PvZ, and he built his 3rd hatchery at his natural instead of another base, and Movie scouted that, so immediately that indicates you're going to go for some kind of, like, basically Hydro Bust, right? Then he goes for the Hydras, he gets the early Den, but then when Movie's probe moves into his natural to scout, he blocks his, he blocks his ramp, and then he pulls drones from the natural to the main in order to fake a lower drone count at his natural. So Movie goes to the natural, he sees he knew the 3rd hatchery was there already, he sees a low drone count, and so he expects a Hydra all in, but instead it's just because Larva did a reverse transfer to his main, so he actually makes only like 5 Hydras and then just double expands at the bottom right, and it's absolutely genius. It was so good. And another little nuance, actually, hold on, let me quickly do the positions, but another little nuance on that was that, and I actually questioned this in the Larva report thread, but when the probe got in and saw the low drone count, Larva actually also sent a drone out as if he was going to expand. But he was actually expanding, but the thing is, normally, that kind of drone move out is like a fake. So you go Hydra Bust, the drone goes to your natural, you send out a drone, the probe goes to your natural, you send out a drone, you pretend, it's like a reverse mind trick. The drone going out is like pretending you're not all-inning, but Movie is such a high caliber player that he's going to count the drones and ignore that drone that's moving out. So Movie was like, he counted the drones, he knew, he's like, okay, there's too few drones here, it's most likely an all-in, so this drone moving out to expand is a fake. But it wasn't a fake, it was real. It was like a fake, man. It was crazy. I was like freaking out about the mind games. Oh man. Anyway, I just couldn't get over it. Like after that, I just became a Larva fan. So go Larva, even though I hate CVZ. Go Larva. What do we have here? 12 hatch, barracks in the main, almost certainly a 1-rax expand from sSak, and vertical spawns on Winning Cloud. Sweet. Now I also just realized I was doing like a ton of hand motions while doing that explanations and nobody could see me. I should add like a little camera thing myself here. Can I add my camera here? Ah! So I can be like wave my arms around while I'm explaining things when I need to. That'd be good. Anyway, SCV guy, gonna get the scout off, gonna get a little bit lucky here with the first scout, and let's get worded away. And looks like we have a 1-rax expand. As expected, only 1 Marine as we can see. The barracks isn't even blinking right now because it was a 12 hatch, so he's not really concerned about anything at the moment. Interesting drone block here. Not sure why that's necessary. He's just going for a standard 3 hatch. I mean, obviously it's nice to keep your opponent in the dark. I wonder if it's just because 2 hatch in this position is more likely. I mean, like 2 hatch Muta in ZVT is quite popular nowadays, and especially when you're in vertical spawns like this with close naturals, air to air. You know, going 2 hatch Muta is definitely usually the way to go. So perhaps he's doing a bit of a mind game here, going for the 3 hatch instead and blocking his ramp like that. Because the ramp block also often indicates some kind of early aggression as well. So that's quite interesting. Anyway. What? Oh my god. SCV getting up here. I didn't even see how that happened. I was like reading the chat. Ah, yeah. Well, that went badly. Although, I mean, you know, he's going for standard 3H anyways. It's not like he was trying some kind of cheese that he didn't even want to get scouted. He's just going 3H Muta, and it looks like SSak going for some fast +1 shenanigans here, getting that eBay already. Gonna get +1 attack on his Marines, put on some pressure. The natural to natural distance here is fairly short by ground as well as by air, so could definitely put some severe pressure on the Zerg before those mutas are out. And even when the mutas are out, just, you know, keep poking towards the natural, keep the Zerg away from your own base. Would be really, really nice. On the other hand, it should be quite easy also for the mutas to kind of pop back and forth between the natural expansion of the Terran and like the ground path that the Marines will take. So if they can just keep moving back and forth here, they can easily both defend and attack kind of at the same time. Spire from that drone. Yep. There we go. So everything going nice and standardly so far. Larva not going to try any cheesy shenanigans, even though he is often a bit of a cheesy player. I actually don't recall seeing too many of SSak's games, even though I know he's been winning a good bit. I haven't been watching all of the games and all the broadcasts, so I'm not actually sure his style of play, what his style of play generally is. I'm going to go for +1 4 racks or 5 racks is very common nowadays as well anyway. Although recently I feel like we've been seeing more of a shift to going for super fast vessels. Like, you know, a few months ago going +1 5 racks was super duper common. You'd see it, you know, 80%, if not more, of TBZs. But nowadays I really feel like I've been seeing a lot of fast teching going on from Terrans. Not too sure why that is. Anyway, at the bottom left, we have a hatchery in the main. S&M, who are you talking about, by the way? I'm like half following this conversation in the chat. Oh, there we go. I just scrolled up a bit. That guy. Alright. Anyway, few medics out. Just gonna chill for a bit. Basically gotta wait for Terran to get a couple more dudes and then he can move out. Is he actually moving out already? Oh no, he actually has a decent sized force already. He actually has 4 medics already. So I'm gonna poke out with these Marines. And start to pressure the Zerg. This kid is only a 4 racks, which is fine. And wow, already forcing a lot of summons here, so we can see that Larva really concerned about this this big medic Marine force moving out. Even though he's already got the mutas out, he's just not really confident that he's going to be able to keep the Marines away from his own base with just the mutas. So making all the sunkens for defense, but it looks like instead the Marines will be used basically just defensively here. Oh man. Engaging on the low ground here, fighting uphill against the mutas, even though the mutas obviously are air units, so they don't benefit from the mischance. Wow, SSak just getting owned here. The first attack, losing all 4 of the medics, crucially. Only Marines remaining. What on earth is going on here? SSak choosing a very questionable angle there, attacking up the ramp. But I didn't think it would go that badly for him. What? There was just like no micro there. That is really weird. So so now Larva has just completely pinned the Terran back in his base. Even though if you're going to go +1 4x, usually it's the opposite. Usually you should have keep the mutas back a little bit before getting pushed back. And look at that, canceled a couple of those creeps. Realizes, oh wait, actually I don't need any of these because the Terran just lost his entire army almost. The mutas now finding an opening here. There's only 1 turret in the back of the main. Was trying, SSak was relying on his Marines to keep the mutas at bay, but instead has now found himself with really vulnerable base here. And Larva's just happily sending drones over to start mining from his 3rd without a care in the world. Can probably get that depot for free, basically just microing from that cliff. Looks like he's not going to bother though. Going to try and find some juicier targets here in the main base. He's got to be careful though, there are still a good amount of Marines. I think +1 might be done already. Yeah, +1 attack is done for those Marines. So definitely got to be a little bit wary. And yeah, he's going to back off a little bit now. His Queen's Nest on the Ray, going for that hive. He's already going to get some lurkers soon. Yep, there we go. There are the lurkers. So he's playing this completely normally. And and so far is kind of dominating this game. But vessels should be getting out soon. We can see the science facility is already on the way. So once those vessels get out, once Irradiate is ready, the Muta threat won't be as big. But it looks like Larva going for a big Mutaling attack on the natural. Is he going? Nope. Keeping the links back a little bit. I thought he might just go for like a mini bust there, try and kill as much as possible. But no, instead just gonna harass a little bit. He might. Oh, he's baiting the Marines out. He's baiting them out, and there the lings go in as well. He doesn't have that many lings, though. So a good idea from Larva, but not quite enough units for him to actually pull it off here. If he had, you know, maybe 6 to 8 more links, he could have done that much more effectively. But it looks like now some Lurkerling are moving out. The Hive is on the way as well, and the Terran hasn't even left his base yet. When that first vessel comes out, that's going to be the time where he wants to make a big attack here. Really wants to get as as far from his own base as possible with that initial push. Before the swarms get out. But look at this, Lurker's already burrowed here at his natural. Looks like one of them burrowed a little bit too close though, and both of them might actually get sniped. No, the Mutas actually, oh my god, 2 Mutas sacrificed to keep that one Lurker alive. Not sure if that's worth it, but the Lurkers are pretty crucial now. The Mutas less so. Once the Marine numbers get high enough, and especially as I said, once their Radiate gets out, the Mutas really become not that essential anymore, unless of course you're going for some quick Guardians to start sieging down the natural. Oh, cute little move here from Larva, burrowing on the high ground there. It's an interesting little artifact. I actually only realized how powerful that was last week in SSL in the TVTs, where you can actually siege up there and get really good coverage of your opponent's natural just by sieging on the high ground outside its natural, so it's really, really strong. Meanwhile, the Hive is now finished. Presumably that was the Defiler Mount about to be built by that drone. And again, this is so crucial that the Terran actually moves out as far as possible with this attack, with this first vessel. Here we go. This is the timing now, but he's got to move uphill, so it's going to be a little bit hard, although with those siege tanks is pushing the Lurkers back. And has now claimed the first ridge. He's going to have to go down and up again on a second ridge before he can get to the Zerg's natural. A lot of Lurkers are being made. But, if you can just stay on these ridges, there isn't that good an opportunity to get flanked. So basically, there's like ridges along the middle, and there's like some unpassable ground here. So it's not... Oh, shit. Oh, no, I clicked it! No, what have I done? No! Oh, God. It's my bad. Shit! Alright, well, something happened. Lurkers died. Shit! Oh, that's even worse. Yoink. Alright, we have a backup. Sort of. Oh man, something's going badly. Everything is dead! Everything is fucked! It's all fucked! I was promised that there would be no ads on Sniper Law 3.
Experts ready to deliver, install, and set it up for you. The future of television has never been so accessible. Experience it today at Curry's PC.
Oh god, it's movie! Oh, it's another ad.
You could say that.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. Nobody's dead yet, so that's good. Alright. Alright, let me close that one. Alright, nobody's dead. Nobody's dead, so that's good. That immediately makes things better. Hold on, let me try and. I want to do a pop-out video. Can I just do that? Sorry, I'm just gonna do pop-out video so we can not lose the mini map. Just as a side note, we wouldn't have had the ad if I didn't have to mod what is StarCraft, because I knew this would be a problem from the get-go. So I actually used my own account. I signed in with my own account. So that actually it still looks a little bit off. Why is this too big? Why is this still broken? Anyway, so basically I have Twitch Turbo on my own account, so I logged in as that, and I was going to use that to do the stream so I wouldn't get ads. And then, oh wait, maybe I should do this. And then I had to sign in as Team Liquid so that I could save what is StarCraft, and so now I get ads. Yeah. Because I don't use AdBlock. Because AdBlock is bad. It's evil. You shouldn't use it. If you don't like ads, you should get Turbo. You should get Twitch Turbo. It's awesome. And it makes you not a jerk. Yoink. So, surprisingly, nobody has actually died or taken significant damage, it seems. while that happened. sSak seems like he's in a bad position though. He doesn't have a third base, and Zerg's already mining away from his 4 bases. So he's just now floating that out. Looks like he's starting to do a factory transition as well. But yeah, he's basically got no map presence if you look at the mini-map. And he's kind of got a little position outside the bottom left natural there, but it doesn't look that big of an army. And he's just lost this little mini army outside the Zerg's natural, so Larva's in a pretty solid position right now. Yeah, you can see there's a couple of units poking around here. And it looks like with the E-base floating out, it's going to be a complete mech switch for what's his face. I thought that was an engineering bay, actually. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was an engineering bay. Alright, cool. So, third base floating over to the 12. Major apologies for that technical hiccup, shall we call it, just now. I was like trying to indicate on the minimap and I just clicked the screen. Oh god. Need to disable my left click. Oh wait, what happened? Oh no, it's just lag. Okay. Jesus, I thought I clicked the screen again. It's like, oh no! Oh no! Alright. I'm just not gonna touch anything anymore. Just gonna let it be. So sSak getting pushed back here. I mean, he's kind of got a position here. He's abusing that really annoying tankable position outside the natural there on the cliff, on the high ground. But it obviously doesn't really range all the way into the base, so it's okay. And it looks like Larva's actually just going to push it out completely. Going to get rid of those couple of siege tanks, and that is going to be the end of that. So, yeah, even though sSak's got his third base now, he doesn't really have much of an army on the map, which is really what you want as a Terran. If you're just like sitting in your base, you're just going to get dark swarmed in your natural and then just instantly lose. You have to be on the map in order to stop that from happening. You do not want the dark swarms to start approaching your bases. You need all the space on the map to maneuver around them and dodge them and whatnot. Also, when you're doing this mech switch, you need the Zerg to be pinned back so you can start laying mines everywhere. Because if the Zergs already are out on the map, it's hard for you to actually lay mines in really nice positions that you want. So normally, you know, if the bio army had actually done its job and pinned the Zerg back into his own natural and in the bottom left natural, sSak could have right now been laying mines all around the natural expansions of the Zerg, and then Larva would have a really difficult time getting out. But as it is now, sSak can only lay the mines defensively around his own bases and not, you know, all over the map as he would really like. So that is not ideal. Meanwhile, a couple of units going over to the top left, just check that out. A couple of lurks actually just going to be annoying and deny that. Meanwhile, I'm slightly surprised actually we haven't seen a Greater Spire from Larva. Very common nowadays to get that Greater Spire once you go Hive as well as the Defiler Mount and get a couple of Guardians and start sieging down your opponent's natural. It is possible on this map as well that, you know, it's there's a bit of water behind the natural expansion, but it doesn't look like Larva's gone for that this time. Instead, just really kind of playing a slightly older style without the Greater Spire and just, you know, pure Lurkerling Defiler. Just good times. And looks like another command center has actually already been built there at 12 o'clock. Man, sSak is actually spamming command centers at the 12 o'clock. A little bit surprisingly. Going to float 2 of them out to the top left 2 bases there. Larva, meanwhile, has taken the 9 o'clock. Small group of Marines dealing with that 6 o'clock, but going to get owned by a flood of Zerglings. Oh, the couple of medics, though, might get trapped away from the Marines. Oh, man, if those medics were in position, they could have actually had a really nice spot behind those minerals, but sSak wasn't paying attention, didn't get those Marines in the corner. I felt they could have killed a lot of these Lings, but instead just going to get taken down fairly easily. So now the command centers are floating over to the top left. I can't imagine that Larva's going to let that go untouched. There's a few vultures to help defend, but otherwise not too much. Although only Zerglings right now, so they're going to get taken down. Oh, although maybe not. The Zerglings coming from the side. And yeah, looks like the vultures are going to back up, but they are speed vultures, so they can run away easy peasy. And we're actually going to go to a nice long game here. Late game TBZ, you know, even though sSak's still at a bit of a disadvantage, he's by no means out of the game. He definitely still has plenty of room left to come back. He's going to be a little bit careful though. He's done the mech switch, but his mech army isn't that big, and he's already moving out on the map. That makes me very, very nervous. The mech army requires a decent number of units to start becoming cost efficient. In small numbers, it's really quite bad. So the fact that he's moving out really, really early means he's going to be very vulnerable to this kind of, you know, well, basically vulnerable to everything. And here we go. A few Ultraling are moving out. Not a huge army for Larva either, though, and he keeps bleeding these Zerglings. You know, even though Zerglings are cheap, you know, you got to do at least a little bit of damage to them. You can't just keep throwing them away for free. Looks like 3 Ultras moving up to the top left. Oh man, they could get a huge mine bomb off. They could get a huge mine bomb. Oh, the mine went off on the Ultras. Didn't kill a single SCV, but more Ultra Ling are running around trying to snipe free siege tanks. This is what I'm talking about. Small numbers of tanks running around unsieged, even sieged, are not very, very good. So it looks like Larva trying to deny these top left 2 bases. I'm a little bit surprised he actually doesn't have more, to be honest. His army just, I don't know where it is. He just doesn't seem to have any army on the map. He's got a couple of random groups of Ultras that are nice, but I don't know why his army's so small. It looks like, oh, going in with Overlords, going for a mini drop ground attack combo attack on the natural expansion. There we go, dropping the Ultra Ling on the natural. There's the army going for a huge attack here while sSak's army is out of position on the left side of the map. Larva's going for the counterattack into the main. He's going to bust the natural. He's going into the main base, picking off the reinforcements as they come out here. His Ultras are all irradiated, and it looks like sSak, though, is going for the counterattack down the left side. He's not bringing his army home to defend. He's just going to use the reinforcements and the science vessels to defend. Instead, going for the huge counterattack on Larva's bottom left 2 bases. He's most likely going to take down the 9 o'clock, but that wasn't mining anyway, and GG from sSak! sSak cannot hold on to his main base, and the counterattack was not successful. Larva takes game number 1 convincingly, dominating sSak. I can't believe it. I thought sSak would have this series. I mean, Larva's good, man, but sSak is basically the most recent pro gamer out of all of these players, and that wasn't even close. sSak just dominated him. I mean, wait, no, Larva just dominated sSak. What am I talking about? Dang. Oh my god, if Larva wins this series, we're going to have Hero Larva and either Zerg